Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. I am Martina Lily and today we're going to rank all of the eyeshadow palettes that I have been trying over the last 3 months. I'll give you guys my thoughts on the palettes, whether I think they are worth picking up or not, or like why I like or am not phased by them, the formulas, that kind of a jazz. I also insert like pictures of swatches and stuff like that in here. And hopefully it's just a bit of good old-fashioned makeup fun, really, to be honest with you. So hopefully that sounds interesting to you guys. If it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. First up, this look is either up or coming, so stay tuned. I will try, it's actually just, I used like a combination of about 4 different Pat McGrath Labs holiday palettes. I think this will be up first before this one, but it's coming. Anyway, you don't care. Also, all of these palettes, or any of the palettes that I can, will be linked in the description box down below. They are affiliate links, so if you shop through them, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I tried 18 palettes. Now, I am filming this on the 23rd of September. So there's still kind of a week to go, but I don't anticipate picking up a new eyeshadow palette in the next 7 days, if I'm honest with you. And even if I do, I won't have enough time to test it in that space. So these are the palettes that I've had since the 1st of July to now that I have tested. I have my thoughts on all of that kind of jazz. I will tell you which ones I got in PR and which ones I purchased with my own money. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, number 18 is this little Kaleidos quad right here from their, was it Almaviva collection? This is the Venus Trap quad. And when you look at this, this is definitely a quad that you think, oh, that's a very teens color. And it really is. And like this little metallic shade right here, absolutely stunning. Like it is gorgeous. Really, really super pretty. And I did actually film a review video of this collection from Kaleidos, but I chose not to actually upload it because, to be honest with you, the quality of this quad, it's not that it's a bad quality. Like the metallic is lovely, but this matte formula from Kaleidos, it's not my favorite. I prefer the matte formulas in their bigger palettes. These ones I find a little bit too like pressed pigmenty, if that makes sense. Very powdery. So I didn't really love this quad. I did like the metallic, but I don't love the mattes in this quad. Oh, I also got sent that Kaleidos quad in PR, sorry. And then number 17 is another palette that I got sent in PR. This is from the Doll 10 beauty brand, or Dollsquad. The palette's called Dollsquad 2.0 and the brand is called Doll 10. I believe, I've actually not heard of this brand before. I believe the brand is like a clean beauty brand, and they reached out to me to see if to ask if they could send me some PR, and I was like, yeah, for sure. And I really like the look of this palette. It reminds me a lot of the Tartelette in Bloom palette. Like packaging's really kind of same but different, and the color story same but different. I like the mattes in here. I think they're very beautiful. I've used this once and I will try it again before I decide whether or not I'm going to keep it, but I wasn't overly phased with the formula. It's not that it wasn't nice. I found the metallics a little too dense for me, but in saying that, if you like the Vive metallic formula, I actually think you'll probably really like this formula because it does remind me a little bit of the Vive metallic formula. A lot softer on the eyes, so won't enhance texture. The mattes just, I found them a little bit hard to work with, a little bit like if you kind of blended even slightly too much, they were over blended and became muddy. So I will just try this again, but instantly it wasn't wowing to me. Number 16, and you guys are gonna be probably upset with me for putting this at number 16, to be honest with you, but I'm going to explain why it is number 16. Now, I purchased this one with my own money, and it's the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership 11. What was this even called? Sunlit Seduction. I think, did I do a 3 looks 1 palette with this? I may have. I know I did an initial review video of this. Yeah, I think I did, because I remember just being so fed up with creating looks from this palette by the end of it, honestly. This palette is ranking so low because when I take into account the entire picture of this palette compared to the rest of the ones that I picked up or got sent, it's not it. Like, first of all, the color story, it's just, listen, you think what you think. This is just my opinion. 2 things can be true at once, but this color story for me is so repetitive from all of Pat's palettes, especially her Motherships and stuff like that. So the color story instantly was like, ugh. I picked it up because a lot of the time I'll get a Mothership in person, and even if I'm a bit iffy on the color story, I get it in person and I'm just usually absolutely blown away by what it looks like in person and the quality of it. But I have to say, this was the first Mothership I have ever picked up, truly hand on heart, where I opened it up and I didn't like kind of gasp with how beautiful it was. Like, I just opened it up and was like, oh, it looks exactly how it looks online, kind of thing. Like, when I opened up Moonlit Seduction, I was so taken aback by how mesmerizing the shadows looked. And then when I swatched this again, it just was like swatching a normal eyeshadow palette. These 4 special shades here to me are not special shades, or at least the special shade formula that I have come to expect and love from Pat McGrath Labs. And even though they're not baked ones, like the special shades from Moonlit Seduction last year, I absolutely loved and adored. I think they were gorgeous, and they weren't the normal like baked astral shades that Pat includes in her palettes, but these were just straight up metallics to me, like honestly with a little bit of extra sparkle, if that. Like, they really did not impress me. And then you take that into consideration with the fact that I paid $225 full price for this. Overall, it's got to rank low. It really does, because for the price point, it was incredibly disappointing, truly. I'm sorry if you are a Pat lover and that upsets you. Number 15, I did get sent this one in PR. This is Angie's new collab with Oden's Eye, the little Ghost palette. Now, this palette is incredible quality. Truly, I love it. I already have a review of her collab because I was lucky enough to be sent it in PR on my channel. If you want to see the look I created, I used the blues. And I really, really do like this palette. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but this is so colorful and so outside my comfort zone that the chances of me getting a lot of use out of this palette is probably not very high. And also, compared to the rest of the palettes, like, this would be like one that I would reach for less. But I'll be honest, I'd reach for this almost before the Mothership 11. I know. Honestly, individually, like, if I only had to use this one palette, like, yes, it does become very colorful, but if I integrate this palette with like, say, you know, a more neutral palette in my collection, then these like metallics and stuff, they become very wearable, and like the formula is just that Oden's Eye formula that you know and love. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the palette. It's just as a colorful, like as a color story, it's not like my personal fave. Number 14 is another palette that I got in PR. I got a lot of PR this month. How exciting for me. This is the Sigma Tiramisu little quad. I think I did a look on my Instagram stories, or like I did a look and then I posted the pic on my Instagram stories. I really need to get better at posting Instagram like things, but I just get too busy. Anyway, this is Tiramisu. I really like this little quad, you guys. It is so, so cute. It's the perfect little cool tone quad if you just want like this small, very light, easy breezy quad that is good quality, cool toned, and you can just like throw it in your handbag or whatever. This is a really, really good quad to pick up. It honestly, and like Sigma, especially coming up to like Black Friday, they have really, really good sales, and I think it's absolutely adorable. It really is, and the look I created with it was absolutely stunning. I really like these cute little quads. I did get all 6. My mum actually came over and stole 1 or 2 from me. She was like, oh, I need these. But the ones I kept was also blueberry parfait and caramel apple as well, which caramel apple is obviously my kind of a color story. I actually haven't used these on my eyes just yet. I haven't had a chance, but I absolutely plan to because they are so, so cute. I just really like them. I think for like traveling and stuff, they'll be really adorable. So anyway, Tiramisu is number 14, but formula wise, I'd just count all of them as like 14. 13 is a new Viseart Petites Mattes palette I picked up. This is the dark one. I wanted this color story for a really long time. I just love the mix of like the cool tone neutrals and then like the warmer kind of mustardy colors and the dark greens and the blues in here. I think this is such a nice all matte palette to round out my collection. And I absolutely love and adore the Viseart formula. I think everything about this is impeccable and a chef's kiss. And the only reason why it's ranking at 13 is just because it's an all matte palette, and that's not as exciting to me as some sparkles. But it is great quality and I love the color story. Oh, I also purchased that with my own money. I also purchased this one with my own money. So number 12 is the Pat McGrath Labs Quad in Venetian Sunrise. I actually have a get ready with me where I use this quad and I still haven't edited it or filmed, I filmed it, I just haven't edited it, and it's from weeks ago. Do you guys still want to see that? It's probably like I'll be talking about like old things in there because it was from a few weeks ago. So let me know if you still want me to edit it and put it up as like a bonus video. This is beautiful. Like I picked this up, I got 35% off this quad, and that's why I picked it up. I actually got this, a bronzer and the bronzer brush in like a bundle for like 70 Australian dollars or something crazy cheap. Anyway, everyone was raving about like how awesome this shade was in this quad, and I didn't pick it up at launch time, and I have wanted it ever since. And really, this is a beautiful, beautiful shadow. This is like the special shade formula in Moonlit Seduction. So if you like that special shade formula from Moonlit Seduction, you'll really like this one shade. Is this an absolute must? No, but if you don't have a large eyeshadow palette collection or a large Pat McGrath Labs collection and you're looking for this kind of a color story, it is beautiful quality. And as I mentioned, it's like her newer special shade formula. So I don't regret picking it up. I would pick it up on a sale personally, just because she's always having them. And like the fact that I got this plus a bronzer and the brush for like 70 Australian dollars, like this was a bargain to me and totally worth it. Another palette that I got sent in PR. Really, look at me go. I'm so impressed. I'm impressed with myself for getting PR. Anyway, this one is Glaminatrix Cosmetics Sugar and Spice palette. I adore this palette, you guys. Like, this palette is so cool. I think I did a 3 looks 1 palette with this as well. I really, really love this. The only reason, the pure only reason that this is ranking so low, I mean, no, but honestly, like, look at these shades. And honestly, from this point onwards, I have to say, it really was hard to rank. Like, if I am completely transparent, I would honestly just put 11 and up as an equal number 1, or at least an equal number 2. And then when we get to number 1, 2, you'll get it. But like, this is such good quality. I'm only ranking at number 11 because the mattes in here are not the normal Glaminatrix matte formula that you know and love. And they are a little bit more tricky to work with. So that is the only thing, because at this point with the rest of these palettes, I'm like splitting hairs because they're all incredibly amazing. I love and adore this palette. I highly recommend it, but that's why it's ranking number 11. I mean, the mattes are still really great, but they're just a little bit more finicky than the normal formula. But the metallics in here are, they're insane. They're out of this world, and I do really, really enjoy this palette. I really do. Number 10 is my first little Chanel quad. I purchased this with my own money. This is the one of the Byzance holiday quads or collection quads, 318 Parure Venitienne. I don't know. I did a look with this on my channel already. I've actually used this a couple of times on my channel, and this is absolutely beautiful. If you are someone that wants a highly pigmented eyeshadow, definitely do not pick this up. You will absolutely be so disappointed in it. But if you're someone that really likes a really soft, easy, fuss-free, super, super blendable eyeshadow quad, then you will want to have a look at this one. Like, you will probably like this because the formulas in here are just very soft and easy to blend, and they can all be used as like one and dones. But then this little green has this like little almost Pat McGrath Labs like shift special shade to it, and if you use this with like a glitter glue or the Pat McGrath Labs Intensify stick, it amps up and it is impressive, while also having these beautiful soft little satin shades to make it super easy to create around like the sparkle look. Like, honestly, this quad is really lovely, but again, it's definitely for like someone who wants just a softer wash of color on the eyes, or a more mature lid, or just someone that wants to be able to do their eyeshadow in a rush and know that it's just going to come out really well. It's a great quad. Next up, I paid for this one myself as well, and I wasn't going to pick this up, but I had to. This is number 9, I think we're up to. So this is the Natasha Denona Mini Starlight palette. Again, I have a look of this I have a video using this on my channel. I wasn't going to pick this up because in the promo pics, this seemed very, very pink. but when it was released like in real life, it was almost like a more cool tony purple kind of leaning palette, and I really liked the look of it, and I loved the look that I did using this palette in that video. And I've used this a couple of times since, just throwing this shade all over like in the crease and then this all over the lid and stuff, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. The quality is that Natasha Denona quality you know and love. If you have the Starlight palette, Lila palette, and I think this might be in Zendo or Retro off the top of my head, then you don't need this because they're repeat shades. But I don't have the not the Starlight palette, the Star palette or the Lila palette. So for me, this was like a nice like little addition to my collection. If you love Natasha Denona minis, you will love that. Number 8 is another palette that I got in PR. This time it's the other half of Angie's collab with Oden's Eye, the Trick or Treat palette. Honestly, this palette is beautiful. Love and adore it. And this is one of those ones that's like the perfect holiday palette doesn't exist. Oh wait, yes it does. This to me is the perfect holiday palette. You have your fall colors and your Christmas colors, and it just nails it. It nails the brief. I mean, it's a Halloween palette. I would call this a holiday palette, but you know, I'm not going to pick the semantics of it. Who cares? It's a beautiful palette. Again, it's just a very bright color story. So for me, I love and adore the quality of it. The metallics are fire, absolute fire. The mattes are absolute fire. It works impeccably. It's just a brighter color story. So, you know, the likelihood of me reaching for this over the others above it comes into play there. But truly, like this mustard shade, this shade right here is like, it's crazy. It's so unique. Like I don't have anything like this one in my collection. And then you just get this like gorgeous mint and this beautiful like reddy color and a green. Like truly, look at that. Is that not holiday vibes? Seriously. Palette number 7, I think, if I've got that right, is a new luxury brand. This is the Prada quad in Dimensions. I picked up this little green one naturally. And again, I really love this quad. I've got a couple of looks using this on my channel as well. I think this is beautiful. This is such, like the luxury formulas that these luxury brands are coming out with are a whole other level of just ease and deliciousness, truly. Like this matte is like a cream to powder matte. It blends itself. It's like a suede, I would call it. Just so easy, perfect one and done, easy to use, like foolproof, absolutely foolproof. This matte and this matte is more of just like a traditional matte formula, but again, blendable, beautiful, buildable pigment, like so easy to use. And then this metallic, it is honestly so much more special, if you will, than what you would anticipate from a luxury brand quad. Like it really is a molten, wet looking metallic, and it's like a cool tone pink, and it's quite unique to the pinks I have in my collection, sorry, and I really love it. The packaging is gorgeous, even though it does get fingerprinty. It's very gorgeous, and I'm really excited to see what Prada Beauty brings to the space moving forward. I've really been impressed with the brand. Spots number 6 and 5, let's do together because really they're like same but different. And I purchased these with my own money. These are the Peau quads. So I picked up, I think this one's Ocean Sunset, and then, well, I can't even remember the names of these, but I will have them linked down below with the color story names. So these are the two right here. I would put this one as 6 and this one as 5, just because this one is like a more wearable everyday kind of color story for me. But again, the formula of these is where it is at. Like it's a whole other level, and they talk about allegedly these quads have skincare ingredients in them and stuff like that, but it's just the formula. It's like that suede cream to powder type formula, blends itself, foolproof, easy to use, buildable, great for mature lids, great for dry lids, great for oily lids, like really fuss free. If you're looking for a super high pigmented like wham bam kind of a formula, it's not your vibe. Like if you want a soft, everyday, easy wearable formula, this is your vibe. Impeccable though, impeccable, absolutely love it. Like I took both of these with me on my holidays to Bali recently, and I just kind of like used them as like one and dones every day, and it was absolutely gorgeous and really fuss free and held up in the heat over there. I really like them, and the packaging's so cute and they're refillable. Love them. Number 4, and I'm telling you the top 4, like you think the top 11 was hard, the top 4 was even harder, my lord. But number 4, Blend Bunny Cosmetics All Done Up Palettes. I have been wanting to try Blend Bunny for quite some time, and you guys have been wanting me to try Blend Bunny for quite some time as well. And they finally got released at Glam Radar in Australia, and I picked this one up because it's probably mostly my color story. I already have a look, sorry, of me using this palette up on my channel as well. Wowie. Wow, wow, wow. The quality of these shadows is mind-blowing. Really. The mattes are impeccable. They are highly pigmented, so just keep that in mind, but they blend like a dream. Just absolutely blend themselves. And these metallics are wow. Like, I know, I just can't even think of another word to describe them. It's just, they're like, are you gonna focus? Can we focus? No. They're mesmerizing. I'm speechless. They're beautiful. They last on the eyes so well. They're shifty, they're molten, they're a whole other level of quality. I think these are gorgeous. I think this palette is gorgeous. I think especially for the price point, it's amazing. Especially like these mattes are kind of hard to formulate and they just perform incredibly and like so true to color. They're not patchy. They don't get muddy. I can see why everyone was like hounding me for so long to try the brand, trust me. Top 3. The top 3 is hard because these palettes are very different to each other. So I really just love them like as a number 1 spot, especially because of their individualness, but I know you guys want to see me rank them. So number 3 is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. Again, I have a review of this on my channel. I love it. Like, I think you can even tell I've really been using this. I am so impressed with this palette, let me tell you. And I wasn't going to pick this up because I saw this and I was like, I don't need this. This is for a makeup artist or someone who maybe doesn't have these colors in their collection already. Pass. But then I kept seeing, because I followed Danessa Myricks on Instagram, I kept seeing her use the palette and I kept seeing people talk about this formula. And I didn't realize that this bigger pan wasn't a matte, that it was a pomade and this was the matte. And that was enough for me. I was like, okay, you've hooked me in. I absolutely have to try this. And I did a video where I use this like on my full face because it is a full face palette as well as being an eyeshadow palette. The formulas, you guys. Wow, this pomade formula has blown my mind and taken, like, it is so unique and innovative. It's crazy. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous and it blends like nothing has ever blended before. Like, it is like a cloud. It lasts really long on the eyes and the face, like, and using this, I like to really use this, like, I like to mix this shade and this shade together to like use for contour, which is what I've done with this look. I love, like, my brows. I've used this palette for my brows. I use this for my eyeshadow, everything. I don't super love it on the lips just because it's a little bit matte feeling for me on the lips, but if you like a matte lip, you'll love them on the lips. It's just one of those palettes. I keep it on my desk at all times. It's very versatile and I just can't talk about the formula especially of this palette enough because it is so unique and like they layer beautifully and it's blurring and diffusing and a joy to work with, truly. And I have seen some people talking about like they're worried these are going to dry out. Honestly, mine have not dried out whatsoever yet, but I mean, I've only had it for a few weeks, so we'll see. But ooh, and like even the packaging, like it's hefty. It's got this like metal plate. It's gorgeous. Like Danessa has outdone herself. Number 1 and 2, can I just tell you, can we just like pretend these are both number 1, honestly? Because I can't pick between these two and they're so different from each other that I just can't. Like, they're both number 1 for a different reason. So let's go number 2, this one, if you have to give me a number 2, but really it's also number 1. This is the Industrial palette from, Industrial 2.0 palette from Isamaya. I bought this with my own money. I bought Danessa with my own money too, and the next one with my own money. This is it right here. Now, you know, if you've been following me for quite some time, that I absolutely loved and adored the original Industrial palette, and I still do. This one though, she took it to an extra level. Like, this is basically, aside from like say a couple of straight metallic shades here, the rest of these are truly just like a full full palette of Pat McGrath Labs Special Shades. Like, they're absolutely gorgeous. And you kind of have to like get this palette and touch it and play with it and experiment with it to kind of get the uniqueness of it, because it probably doesn't look as impressive on camera as what it does when you get it in person and kind of experience it. It's just beautiful. Like, if you just want like a palette that's basically got every kind of color of a special shade that you might want, this is the one for you. Like, Isamaya nailed this. Like, she nailed it. I can't wait to see what she comes out with next, because this is so gorgeous. It is so much fun to work with. Every time I open it, I'm like, I get so overwhelmed because I'm like, I want to use all of the shades and create all of these looks, and it's stunning. And then let's go number one, but really Isamaya in this one is tied for number one, but you knew this was going to be at the top, right? The Natasha Denona I Need a New palette. Again, I purchased this with my own money. I think I have a 3 looks. Yeah, I did a 3 looks with this palette up on my channel. Listen, Linda, this is just like my dream color story. It really is. It is my dream color story. It is perfectly neutral, not too warm, not too cool. Has all of the shades in here that I could possibly dream of. It's got 2 unique formulas, the sparkling wet formula and the sparkling foiled formula, and I love and adore these new formulas from Natasha Denona. The matte quality is impeccable. Like, she just keeps upping her game with these palettes, and I love every single thing about this. Like, honestly, I could just have this one palette in my entire collection and I'd be a very happy duck, okay? I really would, because this is just my vibes all over. I do see the argument that this does not translate well across a lot of skin tones. Totally respect that and see that, and that kind of does suck, if I'm honest. But selfishly, this is just my dream kind of palette. Really, it really is. I cannot get enough of it. I love it. I love it so much. Like, it is so good. That is all 18 palettes ranked. Wow. This one was tough. I think all of them are tough, to be fair, but I really tried some top quality palettes in the past 3 months, you guys. Like, I really have. I'm so impressed with them. And what's blowing my mind is the next one that we do for this is the end of the year one. Like, it's going to be like me ranking all of the palettes I tried this year, which is crazy. I mean, I'll probably do 2. I think I might do like ranking all the palettes that I tried for the next quarter, or the next 3 months, and then also do like ranking all of the palettes I tried this year. But wow, I'm already not looking forward to that video, because there's so many palettes that have just been mind-blowing this year that it's going to be so hard. I'm already feeling stressed about it. But yeah, anyway, this was this 18. Let me know your thoughts. You know, did you pick any of these up? Are you eyeing any of them off? Do you agree, disagree, that kind of jazz? And then let me know if there's palettes that you've seen here that you want to see more looks of on my channel. And yeah, you know I love chatting to you, so. And if you're watching to this point, you know you're an absolute legend. Thank you so, so much. I truly appreciate you. I hope you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.